You know, it's something we all do, every single day, probably without even thinking about it. At work, at home, first thing in the morning, late at night, it's universal. But have you ever really stopped to wonder why we do it? Okay, let's dive into this little everyday mystery. That's right, this simple, automatic thing we do, it's actually a pretty big scientific puzzle. You'd think for something so common, we'd have it all figured out, but the final answer has been surprisingly tricky to pin down. So let's play detective. We're going to open the case file on the Yawn and investigate some of the top suspects.
All right, first up is the theory I bet you've heard before. This is the oldest suspect in the lineup, the one that's been hanging around for decades, and honestly, it seems to make a lot of sense at first glance.
The logic feels pretty solid, doesn't it? You're feeling tired, maybe a little bored, your breathing gets all shallow, so your body's running low on oxygen, and then, bam! A giant yawn forces you to take this huge gulp of air to fix it. It's a really intuitive idea, and it's stuck around for a very, very long time.
But here's where the case goes cold. When scientists actually put this to the test, the whole theory just fell apart. They had people breathe air with extra oxygen, and guess what? It made absolutely no difference in how often they yawned. So, while it sounds good in theory, the evidence just isn't there. Case dismissed.
Okay, so if it's not about oxygen, then what's going on? Let's move to our next case file, and this one involves a clue that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time. The fact that yawning is crazy contagious.
Seriously? Are you feeling the urge right now? Just thinking about it can be enough to set one off. Don't worry, it's totally normal. This contagious effect is a massive piece of evidence, and it points us away from just simple body mechanics and more towards our social brains.
So what's really fascinating here is how this whole thing is tied to our ability to connect with other people. Scientists think contagious yawning is actually a very basic, primitive form of empathy, a way for a group to subconsciously get on the same page. It's like a quiet signal that says, hey, I'm tired, or hey, let's all be aware of our energy levels right now. It even starts showing up in kids around age 4 or 5, right when they're developing all their other key social skills. And really, that's the big takeaway. It's not just some random personal reflex, it's a social signal. This behavior is kind of like this invisible thread, tying together the mental and emotional states of a whole group of people without anyone having to say a single word. It's a really fundamental part of our social wiring.
But wait a minute, the whole social thing only really explains contagious yawning. What about when you yawn and you're all by yourself? For that, we've got to turn to our third and final case file, which holds what many scientists believe is the strongest physical explanation we've got. Meet our current prime suspect.
I love this analogy. It makes so much sense. Your brain is basically a supercomputer, right? And just like any computer, it works best when it's cool. So when it starts to overheat a little, maybe from being tired or working too hard, it needs a way to bring that temperature back down. And this theory says the yawn is exactly that system kicking into gear. So let's break down how this actually works. Step 1, you take that huge, deep breath which pulls cooler air from outside into your sinuses. Step 2, that massive stretch of your jaw muscles, that dramatically ramps up blood circulation to your brain. So you've got this cooler blood being pushed up, helping to carry away the heat. It's almost like a radiator flush for your brain.
And the science on this is pretty solid. Studies using thermal cameras have actually shown a real, measurable drop in brain temperature right after someone yawns. So think of it like this. Your brain is running a little hot, you yawn, and poof, the temperature comes back down to a better, more efficient level. It's basically a physiological reset button.
Okay, so we've looked at the evidence for 3 pretty different theories. We've tossed one out, but we've got 2 really strong contenders left. So where does that leave us? Let's sum up our whole investigation and deliver the verdict. At least the verdict for now.
All right, let's lay it all out. That old oxygen theory, case dismissed. The evidence just doesn't hold up. The social contagion theory, we've got really strong evidence this is a key part of our social, empathetic side. And finally, the brain cooling theory, well, that's our prime suspect for the physical trigger. It's the strongest physiological explanation we have right now.
But you know, the truth is probably not so simple. This isn't really an either-or situation. The most likely answer is that yawning actually serves 2 connected purposes. It probably started as a purely physical thing, a way to cool and reset the brain so it works better. But then, over evolutionary time, this very visible physical act also became a powerful subconscious social cue that helps a group stay in sync.
So yeah, the case isn't completely closed. The next time you feel that irresistible urge to open up wide for a big yawn, just take a second and think about it. Is your brain just doing a quick reboot? Or did you just see someone else do it, and your brain is quietly signaling, hey, I get it, I'm with you? It's a pretty amazing question hiding inside one of our most simple, everyday reflexes.